Boys and girls, we are going to learn how to draw forms. And a form is one of the 7 elements of art.
The elements of art are lines, shapes, color, baby, color, form, value, texture, and space.
And shape is also an element of art, but a shape is flat. It has 2 dimensions. It has height and it has width. And a form has 3 dimensions. It has height, it has width, and it has something called depth. It is deep. So a shape is flat while a form is fat. So we are going to learn how to draw a form on flat paper to make it look like it is 3D and it looks like it's popping out. We are going to create what is called an optical illusion. That means optical means eye, and illusion is another word for magic. So we're going to take a flat piece of paper and make it look like this form is popping off the page, even though it's flat. So first, we're going to get a piece of paper and we're going to begin drawing our forms. All right, I'm going to use a marker so that you can see it from far away. And I'm going to use this cylinder as an example of how we're going to draw. So first, we're going to draw 2 dots. The dots will represent this area and this spot. So I'll start in the middle of my paper. I'm going to put a dot here and here. Now, the first line that we're going to draw is from this dot here. I'll even put a dot on here. We're going to draw this curve here to here. It's not a straight line. It is going to come towards you, come around, and then curve back, just like that. Then we're going to do the same thing for the back side. We're going to curve away from you and then towards you. I'll come this way. We're going to go back in space and then across and back to the dot. So now we have our ellipse really for the top. We're going to draw 2 vertical lines here. We'll make a tall one. And notice when I'm drawing, I'm not just drawing like this, but I'm moving my whole hand. We'll start on the edge with that dot and go straight down. Okay, now we're going to draw the bottom of our form. So we're going to draw from here to here. Ultimately, we are going to draw this same exact line, but down here. Let me make this a little longer. So we're going to curve just like that. Curving towards you, across, and then curving away. Perfect. Now we are creating a glass cylinder, so you can see through the glass. So we're going to need to create this line back here. So I'm going to start at that dot that goes there. I'm going to go away from you, around, and then curve back. Now it is see-through. We're also going to add some liquid in here because we're going to do a color experiment later. I'm going to make this one a little less than half. So we're going to make the water level or the liquid level. We're going to draw that same line again, coming towards us, crossed, and then back. And now we're going to draw that other curved line for the water in the back. Start here. I'm going to curve back, around, and back towards me. So now I have some liquid. And if you want to, you can create some lines, like they're measuring lines. Have a slight curve to them. And if you are going to measure, or if you're going to number them, you number them not from the top to the bottom, but from the bottom to the top. Okay, let's do another one over here. All right, maybe this one's going to be a skinny one with a triangular bottom. So we're gonna draw 2 dots. I'm gonna keep this one skinny. I'm gonna draw towards us, draw away from you, and now I'm going to draw vertical, another vertical line, very skinny. And then I'm gonna end up drawing like a triangular base. So I'm gonna do a diagonal, and let me bring this down a little more so they're even. And the same thing, we're going to do the same line here. Come towards us and away. Now we're gonna do the back line, the opposite. And come towards us. Here you can make the water level wherever you like. I'll make this one down here. So once again, same curve. And you can put your measuring in here if you like. I'm gonna leave this one blank. All right, for the last one, I think what I'm going to do is make maybe a combination of the two. So I'll make the top medium, and we're gonna come towards us and then away. Then we're gonna go away and then towards us. I'm gonna make this medium. I'm not gonna have it go as far, so 2 vertical lines. And now, instead of having my diagonal go out so far, I'm gonna have it just be, a little bit longer. Do this side first. There we go. And the bottom again, we're going to do a line that comes towards us. And then a line that goes away. Maybe this one has more liquid in it. Maybe I'll put the liquid up higher. I'll keep it down here. So the liquid level, have the line come towards you, a nice curve, and then curve away. And there you have it. With some of these, you can make the lines just at the top. You could make your lines this way. You don't have to number them. You could just make, maybe I'll just make some lines like that. And I will not number those. Okay, so now we have taken a flat piece of paper and created the illusion of a form on our flat paper. Now that we have created our forms, our optical illusion that a form is on this paper, and we have our science beakers, we're going to perform a science experiment. So we're going to mix some colors using only the primary colors. And our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Those are the only ones we're gonna use. So first, go ahead and we're gonna do a technique called wet on wet. So we're gonna take just some water from our water dish, and we're gonna put some water just in the liquid spot of our beaker. And yes, I know you can't see it because the water is transparent. So we wanna get enough water on here. Oops, I went out of my lines. Then you're going to choose one of your colors. I'm gonna do blue first, so I'm going to lightly touch the paint. Think of a twirling ballerina. You're not scooching on your bottom, but you are twirling. I'm gonna add a few dots. Woo. I'm gonna add a few dots here and there. And notice I'm just lightly touching to get my color. I'm gonna clean my brush. Now I'm gonna do yellow. I'm twirling like a ballerina very lightly. Ooh. And I'm gonna add some of these green or some yellow dots to make green. Okay, and it's happening. We have some green here. Okay, I'm gonna move on to my next one. I'm gonna just put the water on the inside of my beaker. And this time I'm gonna do yellow first, twirling like a ballerina, adding some dots. That's a lot. Clean my brush. I'm gonna add some red. Can you guess what color I'm going to make now? This science experiment may take a little bit longer. This one you can see the green. This one's very separate. Oops, I dropped water on there by accident. We'll let that mix. Maybe I'll add a little bit more. And I don't really want to stir that up right now. And for our last one, can you guess what color I am going to make over here? You guessed it. We are gonna make purple. So to make purple, we need 2 colors. We're gonna use a red, twirl like a ballerina, add some dots, clean my brush, add some blue, add some little dots. This is called wet on wet. And I'm gonna add a little bit more red, just a few spots. And maybe I'll clean my brush and go back and add. Remember, I'm just lightly touching the blue. I'm not even twirling. Oh, it is turning purple. And there you have it. We have our 3 science experiment, color experiment beakers. Now, I do not recommend picking this up because you can see that the water is moving a lot and it's going to drip. What I suggest is if you have big pools of color, let it sit for a minute and then just dab it. I'm not rubbing, just straight up, in and out, down and up. I'm just gonna do it a little bit because I do want to keep my color. So maybe I can move my paint around a little bit. Okay. Boys and girls, now it is time to make our bubbles. Kind of like the bubbles that I have here in the back. So when we did our observation of our bubbles, we noticed that they were different sizes. So I have different size circle tracers for you to use. We noticed they took on the reflection of the lights above. Some of them overlapped or they stuck together. And we also noticed that they're see-through, that they are transparent. So use a regular pencil, or you can use a white colored pencil if you have it. We are going to trace some different size circles. You can also have them go off the page, like so. And remember, we talked about some overlap. So you could have it overlap like this. Maybe I'll make some little ones here and there. Once you have all of your bubbles traced that you like, go ahead and find a white piece of chalk and go ahead and get maybe 2, 3, or 4 colors that you like that you think will go together nicely. And I'm choosing some that are a little bit lighter. First, you're gonna go over all of your bubble lines with your chalk. And when you do that, you're just gonna like do little short sketch lines around the bubble. I'm not tracing it like that. Then what you're gonna do is you're going to take one finger and we are gonna massage it. We don't wanna go back and forth like this. We wanna create the illusion of a bubble. So I'm gonna go back and forth and just massage on the inside, not worrying about the outside. I'm gonna blow off any extra. But since we're marrying our masks, we can't do that. So what you could do is, let me do another one. You're gonna wanna do all of the white first. Put your white on. Kind of massage the white on the inside. I'm gonna leave a little spot of blue paper showing through. And then since we can't blow it off, you could take your paper in your two hands and kind of stand it up and tap on the table. If you go like this, it's going to smear. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all of those first. And when you have two that are stuck together, decide which one is going to be in the front. So I'm gonna make this one in the front. That means I'm gonna go all the way around it. This second one, I am not going to trace over this part. I wanna make it look like it's stuck together. I guess you could. Let's make this one overlap. There we go. And then I can massage it. So it does look like one is in front of the other. And then I'm gonna massage this one. And this. Tap it off. And this one here is going to be stuck together. You need to watch where your hands are so you're not smearing it. So I'm going to turn my paper so that my hand is in a clear area. And this one, I'm just going to do part of that circle because it's stuck together. There's 1, 2. There. I'm going to do the rest of them. Okay, now it's time to add our reflection. So I'm gonna pick one of my colors, and it is best to make sure you watch where your hands are. Maybe you could all use a scrap piece of paper, something like this, where I can set my hand down so I'm not smearing. When we do this part, you're gonna make short little lines. Maybe I'll put 3. Pick one finger and smear a little bit, rub it in. Pick another color, rub those in. And maybe I'll just do a little purple. You want to do them separate and then pick separate fingers to rub those parts in. I'm gonna put this light in. And then do it again. These are slightly curved lines. Maybe I'll just do 2. So I'm gonna rub with my middle finger for my green. Maybe for this orange, I'll pick my ring finger. And maybe the blue, I'll pick my pinky. And you're gonna do just a little bit at a time. You don't wanna smear them all together. So, green. Oh, and orange. And the blue. 3 colors is probably the best. I don't think I'm going to use that purple, so I'm going to try to go over that. There. All right, so green. Orange. I'm going to try to do them in the same spots. And then our blue. And then we'll go ahead and finish all of these. Once you have all your bubbles created and then colored in with their reflections with the chalk pastels, I'm gonna go back with my white. I'm gonna add maybe just one little reflection in them, so it gives them that extra little shine. And I'm not going to blend. I'm just going to leave it. Notice my line curves, and it's in the same spot in every single bubble. There. Now you can see how messy your paper gets quick. So sometimes you can lightly, maybe, kind of rub that part out. When we looked at the bubbles, some of our bubbles popped. So if you would like to create popped bubbles, I would make a little dot, and then you can make little dots or little dashes that come out of it like it boop, popped. And you can do that. And if you like, you can smear that a little bit. I would go from the center out for each one instead of rubbing. Maybe I'll just do the 3. Odd numbers are good. So 3, 5, 7, those are nice numbers. All right, our bubbles are all finished. Time to put our whole project together. So first of all, we are going to cut out our beakers. I suggest that you take and cut each of them apart. This is going to make it easier for you to cut, okay? That way you can hold your paper, and when you're cutting, you can hold a smaller piece of paper. So when you're cutting, we don't cut and close our scissors each time, but rather you're going to leave your scissors open when you're cutting and cut just down a little bit, but not all the way. This is going to create a nice smooth cut. So I put my scissors in here and I'm cutting farther back in my scissors, okay? So I'm closing them a little bit. Open and move them forward, close, And I am going to turn this hand with the paper. So I'm gonna slowly turn my paper as I close my scissors, but they're still not closed all the way. Close them a little, turn my paper. Notice my scissors really stay in the same spot. Even on a straight line, I don't close my scissors all the way. I cut a little bit, open them, cut a little more, open, cut, open. When I get to the end, instead of turning, I can just trim that off. Turn my paper. I'm turning my left hand, open. As I close my scissors, I'm turning my hand on this side. And again, a little bit, close a little bit. Well, looks pretty good. Now go ahead and do the last two. All right, now it's time to put it all together. So we have our bubbles that look magnificent, and we have our scientific beakers. So we need to decide where we're gonna put them on our paper, find an interesting composition. I do not recommend putting the three right in the middle. It's a little boring. So let's see, maybe, I'll do something. Maybe we'll do something like that. So they're not all across the same. I kind of like how this bubble looks behind that one. All right, so now it's time to glue. What I want you to do is flip over each of your shapes where you want to put them on your paper. Then I want you to take your pencil and I want you to draw a line, like put your finger next to the side, like line your finger up next to the side and make a mark 1 finger width in. Then you're going to draw a parallel line on the inside, staying 1 finger width away from the edge, all the way around. That's where we're gonna put the glue. Because if you put the glue all the way to the edge, it's gonna smear out. With something like this, it's hard to put your lines. So I'm just gonna do 1 line right down the center. And then I'm going to go on the inside and then do it over here. Okay. Now it's time to glue. When I take my glue, I don't hold it up like this, but I do hold it sideways. I put the nozzle right down on the paper. Make sure that it is open. That is open, and that's closed. We only open this part. So I set it right down on the paper and I kind of drag and squeeze lightly. This gives me more control of my glue instead of holding it up here like this and ooh, hope it gets in the right spot. So I'm gonna drag it. Don't forget to close the lid. turn it over, and then I'm just going to press, because if I rub too much, I'm afraid I'm gonna rub my bubbles. And there you have it. All we have left to do now is to sign it.